how you doing out there, guitar heroes? All right, today's lesson is going to be on minor seventh chords. Remember, a minor seventh isn't too far away from a minor, and that's what we're going to talk about, is the difference between those two and how you get there. There's a couple of open chords, like an A minor, and I can get to an A minor seventh by just lifting my third finger. And then we also have the E minor, and I'm going to lift the finger to get to an E minor seventh. And those are the two forms that we're going to use to form bar chords to be able to get all of the other chords up the neck. Okay, so let's zoom in. So if we get to our A7 form, and instead of using my first finger and my second finger to form that first couple notes in the A minor form, I'm going to use my second and my third finger. I could put my pinky down and have a minor, and then I could use the bar chord for that too. All we're going to do is just lift that, so it's really the same as a minor bar chord, except this little finger is up. Okay, so in the first fret we have A, and we're going to use our A string to kind of tell us where we're at, as opposed to the E string, right? So you kind of count up on this, right? So if we're using the A string, open is A, right? B would up be 2, one more, B and C. Remember, only one fret between a B and a C. C, 2 more is a D. So if I'm going to use the bar chord up at 5, I know that's a D. If it's here, it's going to be a C. If it's going to be here, it's a B. And we just keep on going. D, E, F, G, go all the way up. And we're going to do the same thing when we use the E minor, except we're going to use the big E string to tell us where we're at. You know, open E, 1 is F, 3 is G, 5 is A, 7 is B, 8 C. Okay, so back to that. Here's our form. So if I want B minor, which is super common, I'm going to go up to 2nd fret. If I need a C, I'm going to go up 1 more. If I would need a D, go up to the 5th fret. If I want an E minor 7, I'm going to be up here on the 7th fret. If I want F, I go 1 more. Right? Just keep going. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, blah, 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 blah. So there you go. Be able to play all of those minor sevenths anywhere on the neck, whatever, you know. So if you're comfortable with, you know, with the common ones, and, you know, typically, you know, B minor 7th that's pretty common, and A minor 7th is very common. Just depends on what key you're playing in. If we move to the E minor form, we're kind of doing the same thing, except I'm going to use my third finger here on that single finger, and then leave my bar open. So we've got an E minor 7 right here. So if I just went up 1, that'd be an F. If I go to the 3rd, I'm going to have a G. If I go to the 5th, I'm going to have an A, B at the 7th, C at the 8th. And you probably heard that sound, you just didn't really know what it was. In many, many, many songs, you use that quite a bit as an alternative to the minor chord, the minor 7th. Okay, so those are the two forms to use to be able to play all over the neck. Simple forms, the A7 form and the E form. And if you've already taken my other, or looked at my other 2 bar chord lessons, I got 3 of them out there now. One of them is on minor bar chords, one's on major bar chords, where you use the E form and the A form, and then I've got a kind of a strumming technique thing where you get a little bit of this fast strumming thing that I'm doing. Check those out, and if you have already, then this should be a piece of cake for you, because all you're doing is just changing one single finger, and you should be able to get this with no problem. All right, well, I hope you got something out of this lesson. Minor sevenths all the way up and down the neck. Take it easy, and we'll see you next time.